today you are going to watch me make this Sakura Bonsai. This is the first time I've ever made anything like this. I couldn't find anything on YouTube, so I had to figure everything out from scratch, which was pretty exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. I'll show you how I did it, so stay tuned. Here are the items you'll need. UV light, Toa Dip. You need the 0.9 millimeter and 2.0 millimeter wires. These will be for the tree and the branches. And for the flowers and leaves, I use this 24 gauge. It's like a white paper wrapped wire that's used primarily in Japan for these type of flowers. But I recommend using a little thinner gauge, maybe a 30 gauge, if you're using this type. If you cannot get this and you are using the regular wire, I recommend using a 26 gauge. I'm not creating a stamen today. I'm using these metal, what are they? Beads. I think they're called filigree beads or something like that. I'm using some pearls to go in the middle. This is a floral tape, which is really interesting. It's not sticky. It's a little tacky, but when you stretch it, it becomes sticky. And it really sticks well to itself. If you guys can't get this, I am trying to open my eBay account again, so I hope to provide these things to you at cost so you guys can do these projects with me. We are using the wire gauge pipes today, but if you don't have gauge pipes, you can use a pen or a thick marker, which I will show you how later. You want to have pigments to color your flowers and the leaves for this project. And I did add some of this brown to make the pink darker and for the underside of the flowers. You need your usual accessory tools, UV resin, and moss. Let's get to it. Okay, let's start with making these leaves, and I need 12 of them. Okay, this one would be 35 millimeters. I think this size would be okay. So we're going to make a twist 3 times. That was almost like 4. Okay, I'm gonna pull here, create a bend. With these pinchers, I'm going to make some bends. So bend to the outside, to the outside, to the outside, to the outside. Bend towards the outside, the outside, the outside, the outside, the outside. Okay, like that. I'm going to take this wire here. I'm going to bring it up and bend it right here at the tip, wherever the tip is. Bend it so I can bring it on in. Here we go. And pull, like so. Okay, so you're going to use this part to stick it up in the styrofoam when you dip these. So make sure that this part is like 1 inch long or 1.5 inches long. And then here we're going to cut this right here as close as you can, like that. Okay, so let's go on to the next petal. I have taken out the blade, and we're using something that's really skinny, 10 millimeters probably, or even smaller. Pen size, regular pen size probably. Okay, so we're going to start off with making the small petals first. And this, the way that we're going to do these petals are a lot different from what the kind of petals that we've made before. They're not individual petals. Leave a little bit, probably about, what is that? 2 to 3 inches. Okay, and then we're going to twist twice. Okay, so see, this twist is going to be between each petal. So here we're going to go back around. Take this and twist twice again. 1, 2. And again, this part will be between this next petal, number 3. Go. 1, 2. Okay. Again, petal number 4. 1, 2. Uh-oh, gloves caught in between. Oh, okay. Here we go. And again, petal number 5. Go like this. And twist here. 1, 2. So now we've got 5 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Slide this off. And it looks like some rings here. And whichever side you want to take, doesn't matter. Let's lay these out flat. Take the short one, not the long one. Take the short one and see how this is the first one. This is the this is the first one. This is the last one, and the short one that's attached to the last one. You're going to bring it in between the first and the second petal, right here. Do you see it? Okay. You can bring it over or under, doesn't matter. And you're going to loop it through. You're going to wrap it around here. So place your petals, try to make them as even as possible. And then take it through the first and second petal. Bring it through the middle here. Okay. Pull it and tie it. I'll do it one more time by putting it through here. There you go. And bring it down. And cut it. Okay, you've got your pretty little petal. So I have finished making 20 of these. Next, I'm going to make the medium-sized petals. So for the medium, it's the same thing, but just a little bigger. This is what I used before. This is what I'm going to use. Maybe I'll use this. Yeah, I'm going to use this. This lighter I have. The sticks that I have. This is actually about 14.25 inches long. Okay, so I just finished making 20 of these. You can individually shape it. You can use this tool. You can do each one like this. Or you could take the nose pliers and offset, bend it in, and then shape. Make a heart shape and then bring it back up like that. Okay. I want to make these, but instead of 5 petals, I want 4 petals. We're going to do the same thing, but just 4 with the 10mm one, okay? You just want to pinch the ends. We want them to be pointy. Like that. That's it. So like that. So we're going to make the bud. We're going to want a little bit, like 2 inches left here. 1, 2. And then bring this through, thread this through the bottom. Okay, bring it through, pull, pull. Bring this around so you can twist these together. 1, 2, I guess I'll do 3 times. Okay, then you want to pinch the bottom. Bring one under the other one. Okay, and this is fine. Because once you dip it, it's just going to go over it. So we're going to do the last one. And since this is going to go on the bud, and the buds are very small, I've decided to make it just 3 petals. It's going to go here and cover up this bud like this. Like that. So since this is the middle, I'm going to go slightly off center. Right next to it, and then pull it up. Okay, so let's get to dipping. Since today I'm only using 3 colors, right? One is pink, one is dark pink, and green for the leaves. So I want to color this dip resin to see if I can color it with some pigment paste. And then when I go to the dark, I'm going to add some more pigment paste and see if that actually works. The green, I'll just paint it on with UV resin. So I'm going to dip all of the leaves first. I have about half a can left. This is probably about 100 milliliters in here. How much would I put if it was regular resin? Let's see. Doesn't look like anything changed to like the consistency. I think I want to use a little bit more of this pink. Just a dot. This much, because I always say you can put in color, you can't take away color. Alright, okay, this is better. Let's dip a petal and see what it looks like. Okay, here we go. Okay, let the excess run off. But it's really thick. I think I'm going to add some thinner to this. I mean, it works. It's just very thick. And you could tell the parts that are pooling, which I don't like. Well, I add some thinner. It's a little thinner, but a lot thicker than what the colored stuff looks like when you buy the colored type. Well, let's give it a try. And this stuff has some pooling. See how you'll see the pooling of the liquid. This is the last one I just did, and there's a lot of bubbles, of course. Someone said put a torch to it, but don't do it. I finished dipping all the petals, and now we're going to add some pigment to this Toa Dip to make it darker. And I'll dip the buds and the sepals. Sepals? Sepals? I don't know, it's my first time actually using this word. I had to look it up on Google. I don't think it's dark enough, so I'm going to add this dark red to it. Okay, nice. I really like how thin this is and easy to work with. Okay, I'm going to show you now how to dip the buds. We're going to get some thick wire and create a circle, something that's just big enough to fit in this container. Then you put this big wire into the solution like this and hold this bud here next to the solution, but not inside the solution. You're going to pull this ring out sort of like it's a bubble. You know when you used to blow bubbles as a child? Do kids even do that these days? Probably not. Okay. Now that I've gotten all of them done, I've got Scots Pine and Edwardian Green. I'm going to take just a tiny bit here. It's mostly going to be this color, this Edwardian Green. I'm going to paint the underside. So I'm going to take some of this dark, run it just along the edges like so. I'm also going to create a few lines like this. Ooh, they look pretty. These are filigree beads, I think, and these are 10 millimeters. I will use these 5 millimeter pearls from Daiso to put in the middle. To build it, we're going to take the biggest flower and then the smaller flower and thread it through the middle. Take the sepal, thread it through the bottom, then add the filigree bead and the pearl. Make sure you put UV resin in between all of them and then cure it. I finished them all. Look how pretty. You can probably use these as is. I have a few extra ones, so I'm going to put a filigree bead and a pearl in those. And here is the bud and the 3-petal sepal, and I'm going to put those together as well with UV resin. I want to cover up the bottom of these. I don't like how the wires look. They look all messy. So I'm just going to quickly take some UV resin and the brown pigment I used earlier and paint the bottoms of these flowers and buds like this. They look like this when they're finished, and I really like how they look. It covers up all the wires and it provides protection from any pointy cut wires as well. Okay, so I have sort of drawn a mock of how I'm going to put this together. And I know usually with the wire art, you're supposed to start at the end and then work towards the base. So they just cover like this, and then they just start rolling, if I can do that. I can't get the roll thing down yet, so I'm wrapping it. And then you wrap these two together. So this is definitely different from masking tape. I'm going to go on this side. You don't really have to worry about the sides that you put it on because you can shape these after the fact, you know? And oh, to this, I'm going to add this wire. I don't need it to be too thick yet. I think I'm going to use this one more for the, as we go down a little bit further. So what you do is you add to it. Aha, okay. Let me wrap it down to about here so I can make sure that it's nice and sturdy and really on there. Okay, oh, see? See that? Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love it. I love it. So create something like this, 7 of them, and then we're going to start putting them together. So I'm going to stop here for a second because I think that this is probably one of the best ways to do it is from the beginning. We have just a short stem on the bud, or the very first, whatever you're going to use as the very first flower on the branch. Go ahead and add some wire to this first one, just so you could create a base. Then start adding your flowers. Just want to mention that really quick. Okay, so now that I finished everything, let's start putting it together. So I have 10, including one small one. So look at all of them and see which one you think would look best to be on, you know, the very bottom to use as the one that's going to droop down. And I feel like having the pointy end like this one or this one would look best. Okay, I'm gonna choose this one and shape the flowers. You could always bend the flowers the way you want them to go, the leaves, etc. Any one of the short ones you think would look nice, go ahead and add it. Put a little bit of a space, but not too much. You don't want a bare spot. I want to make it even more sturdy, or make it sturdier, by adding one of the thin wires. I'm going to add this here. And as we go on, it's going to get thicker and thicker because the combining of the wires. Next, go down a little, and on the this side, I'm going to add another smaller branch. I think that the closer that we get to the trunk, you want to go smaller. You don't want really long ones. I have the 3 main branches already picked out. The largest ones that I made will be number 2 and number 3, because there's 3 main branches, and then from that there are these little branches that branch off of it. Where I want the main branches, I think I want a couple of main branches to come into play. I'm trying to think of all these placements. This one taking so long here. Here we go. Add this on. Okay, so where the 3 branches come together, I don't know if the tape is going to be enough to keep this together, so I am going to add some wire here. The thin wire though, just to wrap this. Because I'm not sure if it's going to be, you know, just the tape alone will keep it together. So just for good measure, I'm going to add this thinner wire around this thing, especially at the top here where I don't want it to like split and come apart. I'm going to add the tape here. Let me add some more. Okay, and I have one left, which I'm going to add up to the top. And I'm going to put this wire here. Look at that, guys. Okay, now that we're at the end, I'm going to spread these out a little bit because I'm probably going to use them sort of as branches. Twist these two together. Let's take some washi tape and wrap these so-called roots. Going to take some UV resin, quite a bit actually. I'm squirting it right where the trunk base is here. Okay, I found this bond that I have. So I'm gonna take this glue, whoa. And the color doesn't really matter because I will be covering this with moss. I'm going to brush on this UV resin, spread the glue, sprinkle the moss, drizzle the UV resin, and cure. And voila! Ooh, here she is! A beautiful weeping cherry blossom tree. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's a little bit different from my sketch, but it really came out nice and I'm feeling so elated right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave some comments on what you want to see next. Please also like and subscribe. It really motivates me to keep going. So until next time, bye.